man. They don't gotta be different deep. I gotta get that angle, brother.
You want to speak loud? Speak loud.
Speak like you just teach earlier.
We're going to do Proverbs 1, man.
Proverbs 1?
Yeah, 1 and 20, man. I was going to get Isaiah 34, but I don't want to know what I'm saying.
Isaiah 24.
34.
Do Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34. Speak loud. Face them. You're the leaders right now. You're the teachers. You're the students. Let's go.
I gotta read it. Isaiah chapter 34.
You gotta face them. So those are the students.
This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1. And it reads, "Come near, ye nations."
Yeah, come near, ye nations, meaning these other nations.
To hear and to hearken, ye people.
Pick up your voice.
So like, you know. All right.
See, you get nervous. You get nervous when you got a lot of people.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1, and it reads, "Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people."
Right, because we're not only prophesying to the nation of Israel, okay? We're also prophesying to these other nations, man, the future judgment. All right? Because these other nations, you know, played a part of our downfall.
It says, "Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it."
Right. You know, let the world hear, man. Let the world hear what? Their future judgment, man. All right? What's going to happen to them? All right? Because they're going to be destroyed with that nuclear fire. Get that real quick, brother. Matthew 24 and 14.
Matthew 24 and 14. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached."
This gospel, what's the gospel? The good news shall be preached into what? All right?
"In all the world."
In all the world. All right? When you go into the world, then this one is okumeni, meaning the entire world. All right? So these nations got to hear what's going to happen to them, man. Go ahead.
"For a witness unto all nations."
For a witness to all nations. All right? That was it.
It's Isaiah 34 chapter 3.
I got a question, teacher. But how the world gonna hear it? How's the whole world gonna hear it?
You know, I was just thinking that.
Okay.
By the prophets.
And what else? How they gonna see us in other countries?
By YouTube.
Through the internet, man.
If there was no internet, the word wouldn't go out to the whole world.
Right.
This is the thing that's going out to the whole world.
Verse 2, it says, "For the indignation of the Lord is
What's
upon
the indignation? All right, the Lord's righteous anger. That's the indignation of the Lord, man. All right? The Lord is not all about being peace, man. He's a man of war.
You got a lot of reasons to be angry.
Right.
It says, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations."
Lord, the indignation upon the Lord is upon all nations, man. All right? Because you have touched the apple of the Lord's eye, man. All right? You help further the affliction, man, of the nation of Israel. All right? The Lord's people, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right?
And his fury upon all their armies.
And his fury upon all their armies, man.
Go ahead. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
But he had delivered them to the slaughter. And how is he going to deliver y'all to the slaughter? These other nations. By that nuclear missile, man. All right? When the Lord is going to basically gather up these other nations in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, man, in the Middle East. All right? World War III. Go ahead.
Also the chariots of the Lord.
Yeah,
The Lord is going to do a lot of slaughtering too.
That's right.
The slain of the Lord shall be many. Yahushua going to get bit. Well, he said he's going to let out a cry as a travailing woman. Yeah! You know, Yahushua going to get busy.
And when a woman's pregnant and she's about to deliver, the husband's usually there. She's slapping her husband. She said, "You gotta have you." So he's going to get very emotional
On that day. And he has every reason to. 2,000 years ago, they put a ass whooping on Yahushua. Slapped him and made fun of him. And you ain't forgot that. I got a precept. This is Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 32. "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be rise up from the coast of the earth." Verse 33. "And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. There shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. There shall be dung upon the earth." That's beautiful, man.
That's when them laser beams hit that way. People gonna be running.
You know, Chariot gonna be right on their ass. Watch out! They drop dead.
At the same time, the Most High is bringing that destruction with the nuclear missiles. Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's Isaiah 13:6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another, their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Question. Who's the sinners?
Two-thirds of the nation of Israel. That's all I want to know.
Okay.
Verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
There's going to be a lot of dead bodies here, man, in America, man. All right? That's going to be all the dead bodies that's going to be laid out throughout the city, man. All right? They're slain. All right?
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
The mountains shall be melted with their blood. All right?
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
That's talking about that mushroom cloud, man. You read the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, man. After that, the nuclear missile shit here in America, it's going to be a big mushroom cloud, man. All right? All right?
And all their hosts shall fall down.
All their hosts shall fall down. What is that talking about? The hosts is talking about their armies, man. Their armies is going to go down, man. The Lord's going to bring this kingdom down, man. All right? Because, you know, the scriptures speak about how Esau, all right, it's going to be a war in heaven. All right? And the Lord's going to bring him down. All right?
As the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Right. All right.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
And what's the Lord's sword, man?
I got a question. What does that mean? The fig falling from the fig tree? Anybody can help us? Fig falling from the fig tree. That's also in Revelation 6. It's the same thing in Revelation 6.
That's the missiles coming down.
Right. In other words, when the fig is released, if a wind goes with the Lord, the fig fall off the tree, and it takes a long fast. So that's what you saw, the missiles. Something like that. You know? Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 13.
Speak loud.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Read that again.
Revelation chapter 6, verse
Let the
13.
gentleman come through.
And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth.
What are the stars? What did John see when he said the stars of heaven fell to the earth?
Missiles.
The missiles. So he's looking up and he's seeing the stars up there. He's seeing the stars coming down. He said, what the hell is going on with the stars? There weren't stars. Those were missiles. You know?
That was the fire of the missile.
That's it. That's it.
Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Wind comes along, the figs fall off, and the ark can pass. So that's how the missiles. It's not going to be one missile. You said one missile. That's all right. It's going to be. They're going to be showered with the missiles. 200 million. The number. Because the angel gave them the number. Let me shut the hell up.
Revelation 9. Revelation 9:16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
And it's going into 200 million warheads. All right? And the Lord's going to put a spirit upon them.
Speak loud, speak loud. Speak loud.
Oh, Consul,
Speak loud. You were speaking loud before. Bring it back up. Keep it up. Keep it up on the same level. I know we pressed on you, brother, so that's all right. You're doing good. Is he doing good?
Yeah. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
And that's going into 200 million warheads, man. That's going to be on those nuclear missiles, man. That the Lord's going to put the spirit on, man, to hit here in America, which is Babylon the Great.
I got a precept. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse, I'm going to say verse 3. A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burning. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape. The appearance of them, verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horsemen, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on top of mountains, so shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth stubble, as the strong people set in battle array. And that's not.
Say this, you know, High Priest Ariel used to say that was Jake climbing into Esau's window, he's killing him. They ain't talking about none of that. When Ariel taught that, it never sat with me. You know? Now it's talking about missiles. It's talking about missiles. It says they should go through the windows. What is that talking about? Ozone layer. You know? That's right, kid. That's right.
And it said that God, and it said like the Garden of Eden. It's talking about that nuclear wind, right?
Yeah, the Garden of Eden before the Eden is a livable place. People are living and making money, and behind them a desolate wilderness, meaning not the missile's going to leave and go, the missile's going to do its damage, and behind them, you know, their posterity is going to be what? Desolate wilderness.
Like, when you see
Peaceful
Maine,
destruction.
when you see Maine, Nebraska, Wyoming, Vermont, it's beautiful grass, greenery is everywhere, cattle everywhere. That's like the Garden of Eden before them, but behind them, when the missiles hit, it's going to be a desolate wilderness.
The aftermath.
That's the aftermath. It's going to be a desolate wilderness. It's going to be nothing definitely destruction. That's going to go back to the word isolate.
Well, first a lake of fire, and then when the fire dies down.
The word Eden means paradise. The word Eden means paradise. Because right now, as everything before destruction is a paradise. Con.
So give it back to them. Y'all got it.
This is Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. That's going into the nuclear blast. You know, it's nothing else that's clearly, you know, going to illustrate that type of destruction but a nuclear blast. Nothing else identical to that type of destruction. You know?
So the spirit of the Most High will be in this. Same as the chick that's making serotonin. You always use that illustration. You had the fence, you saw the kid playing, and you saw that vessel of destruction, and then when the vessel hit her, what was left was bones, she was still holding the fence, and then she dropped. Yeah.
Can I also add in with the tongue and the eyes being evaporated? Basically, it's going into the eyes being the visions of this place, how this place, you know, the future of this place, you know.
Sorry, I used to break it down like that. Yeah, he said the eyes, because the flesh, eyes is flesh, the tongue is flesh. So why did they say eyes and tongue? Because the flesh is going to destroy them. The eyes mean they're not going to see the future, and the tongue they're not going to speak the future. In Daniel 7th chapter, it says he spoke, the little ones spoke what? Great things. So he's not going to speak no more vision.
Right.
Y'all got it?
Like Isaiah 34, this is verse 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
And what's the Lord's sword, man? All right? And we've been going, like brothers are going into, man, that nuclear missiles, man. All right? And it's going to be bathed in heaven upon what? Idumea. And what's the, Idumea is a Greek word for Edom. All right? And we know that the modern day Idumea is America. All right?
And upon the people of my curse.
Right? And who's upon the people of this curse? The so-called white man. All right? She was cursed with what? With leprosy, man. All right? That's the people of this curse. All right?
What's going on, you are?
I had a precept. Jeremiah 50:9. It said, for lo, I provide the course to come up against Babylon and the assembly of great nations, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From then shall she be taken. The arrow shall be of a mighty excellent man, none shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a sport.
You gotta speak up. Speak up.
And Chaldea shall be a sport. And all that sport shall be signed by, saith the Lord. And when you go back to that ascending great nation, that's going into Russia, China, Iran, North Korea,
The BRIC nation, they're no longer dealing with America. They're no longer the petrodollar, which is the world reserve currency. Now it's called the petrodollar. Anytime you wanted to deal with a nation to buy oil, you had to switch your money. If it's a yen, you had to switch it over to not the euro, but the U.S. dollar, the Federal Reserve, right? And then you can buy, and that popped up the U.S. dollar, the Fed, right? The BRICS nation, they said we're no longer dealing with y'all. We exchanging our own money. And Esau and America's not doing that because why? You got two major powers. Now you got three world powers. It used to be America and Russia. Now it's America, Russia, and China.
Yep.
So if you want to go to war, you got to deal with Russia, and they want to fuck your ass up. All right, they're bloodthirsty. In China, you got what, a 2 million man army. They got over 1 billion people. They can easily make up a 10 million man army. And they also have the I'm gonna give it back to you. And then you guys gotta be riled up like Ariana. If you speak in Ariana, put that finger up, take the cowboy hat up. You know, I would rile them up. So these brothers are riling me up, man. And this is a basic scripture, but you know what? When you go into the breakdowns, man, I love the breakdown. You know why? Because precepts come to your mind, right? Now what was I saying? What was I saying?
Well, China.
All right, China got over 1 billion people. India got over 1 billion people. All right, and they can easily. Oh, another thing I was going to say, Russia and China have the same thing in the other nations. Let the weak say I'm strong. Joel 3, verse 19. They have a missile called a hypersonic missile, where there's a cloud of plasma on the warhead. There you go. I'll let you speak on it or read on it. But anyway, radar can't pick it up. So what scriptures come to mind? No, it's another scripture.
Isaiah 13?
I got it. Isaiah 13 talks about.
Who said that? Well, that brother, he making great videos, man. And we're gonna watch that movie, man, American Blackout, because of you, huh? Because of you, brother. Yeah, but he did it right, as a thief. What is it? Now we fully understand what it means as a thief. Because a radar can pick up a hypersonic missile. Check this out. The Most High put the spirit on them, Isaiah 54:16, to blow up the gold in the fire, to make it an instrument for his work, right? Paraphrasing. The Most High put it in his mind, because you know what? What's the range of an ICBM missile and or a hypersonic missile? What is the range? He watches all my videos. He's the first brother, Shalom. And when he said Shalom, Shalom, I said, I know there's precepts coming. And this brother floods me with precepts, man. Floods me. I said, man, you the only one doing that, or you got people behind you? Okay, it's a spirit. It's a spirit. Right, okay. So you said 6,000, right? You can look it up. The range, it can't go 7,000. It can't go 7,000. What's the range from the middle of Russia to the middle of America, the Bible Belt? What's the range? 5,518 miles. So guess what? These missiles can go 518 miles and then go another 500 miles. They don't need to go. So you see how the Most High he made them all the missiles so they can go 6,000 miles. As far as they can go 6,000 miles, but from Russia, the middle of Russia, to the middle of America, the Bible Belt, 5,518 miles. That's all you need. You know?
I got an article that 5 hours ago that Russia claimed
Russia has successfully tested a hypersonic Zygzwam cruise missile. The country's Ministry of Defense said Saturday. Take your time, take your time. The missile has previously been touted as a major breakthrough in weapon development, with the Saturday's launch clearing a distance of 625 miles, according to reports. Video shows the missile fired from the Barents Sea and striking the target in the White Sea with great precision. Today, it says today, the lead figure of projects 22-35-50 admiral of the fleet of the Soviet Union, Gorbachev, whatever his name is, fired a Triskon hypersonic missile at the sea target post in the White Sea from the Barents Sea. The defense minister announced, according to the Russian state news media. And then it says North Korea launches 3 test missiles as Biden leaves Asia. So you got, and then India testified a missile today too as well. Huh? Russia, India, and North Korea testified missiles. Let the weak say I'm strong. What's the great equalizer? The missile. Whether it's hypersonic or ICBM. They're both ICBM missiles. Alright?
Quick preset. Preset.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter.
Back to them. They're the teachers.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Just backing up what the brother saying, these missiles going to come from, Russia, China, Iran, and other, countries to aim at Babylon the Great, aka America.
You're forgetting about their allies. The EU and the NATO nations, they're going to shoot missiles on, because America's going to do something to make the EU nations come against them and join with Russia. Assembly of great nations, That's it.
That's scripture.
The beast shall hate the horse. Why? Because the Most High put it in their heart to do something. Now, anybody out here that can't see this, anybody out here that's in my voice that can't see that this is gonna happen, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get that karate, man. You're gonna eat one of them missiles, man.
That's right.
This is supposed to put fear in your heart. These guys that left, that's why you think Lahab is back on the scene. Because he's fearful, man. He's trying to get back into, he's trying to get brownie points with the Most High. I've been doing this for going on 36 years. And guess what? I feel, at least I feel like I'm on fire. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I'm on fire. You gotta be on fire, man. And you gotta stay on fire. Go ahead. And we're gonna give it back to y'all.
Just backing up what you said. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's backing up what you're saying. The NATO and the EU, America is going to get them mad, so they're going to switch sides, and they're going to send them missiles as well.
They're doing it right now.
Yep.
Remember when this guy, Biden, said we no longer going to buy oil from Russia? The European Union nations were with him. But they're feeling the pinch, man. They're feeling the pinch because it's $70 a barrel in Russia. Elsewhere, it's maybe double that, 140, 130. So everybody's catching hell, man. They talking about there was one station that's going to change up the thing because it only can go to 999. So they got to change up the pumps so it can go $10 and up because they're talking about $10. Don't be surprised. They definitely gonna go up to $6. I passed places where it said $6. Don't be surprised if this summer, right? This summer, August, end of the summer, or even July, gas might be hitting $10. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. That's it. And what does that mean? What does a penny mean? What does a penny mean? What can be more us details. What does a penny mean?
Somebody
Be
move up.
specific. If you don't know, you don't know. You'll learn it by the time you go home. What is a penny? Come on, brother. This brother, he's on the ball. I sound like what? This brother right here, he's on the ball. But anyway, so go for it. Denarius is a day's wages in the Roman Empire. When a soldier went out to war, he got a day's wages. With that, you can take care of your kids, buy shit. That's a day's wages. When it says they all work for the same penny, that same penny was a day's wages, which now could be $200, $250. If you got a decent job, you bring home $250, you're doing all right. $300, you're doing better. So that was a penny. So it said what? A measure of wheat for a penny. A measure of wheat is going to cost you a day's worth of work.
Inflation.
Yeah.
It's going to be cheap. No, it's going to be expensive. It's more expensive.
Oh yeah. Leads right into it. We're in the black horse right now. Prices rising, man. You know? And who is it affecting the most? It's affecting the middle class. The poor's already poor. They used to
Yeah.
But the middle class, they
There was just a food plant, I forgot where it was at. It just burned down. It was 100 years old. Grain. A grain site. This is where they keep storing. The whole shit burned down. They destroyed. They destroyed.
No, I was asking what the second stage for the family. Now, the situation in Boston, not Boston, Buffalo, that's nobody's talking about that. What replaced Texas thing? Now the Texas thing, come to find out, the police was there. They were just standing there for a whole hour. They had the gunshot, bow. We ain't gonna do nothing. What the fuck is the point of the police? Any goddamn way. All right? Then they said this teacher, they keep changing the story. At first, you're thinking there was no police. When I found out there were 4 police in the school building. So security was already set up. 2 months before that happened, which is right now, 2 months before that, they had to drill somebody getting into school, busting up kids. There was a door in the back that was open that the teacher forgot or left open. First of all, I used to go to school. Doors automatically close. You can't. They ain't gonna let you just leave a door open, man. Okay? I used to do deliveries to school. They wouldn't let you put your name. Let me look at your license. Then they would call the person. They would call the teacher, and the teacher would come down and get it. They wouldn't let you go past the main. So they gonna let They said they had 4 armed policemen in the building. Then they had the rest of the town sheriff, the police. They were just sitting out there. Listening to the gunfire. And then they decided to go in.
Feast of the Beast. Something like that.
Feast of the Beast.
And you always go into that, how they go into sacrificing people to the Feast of the Beast.
Now, we don't know if those are crisis actors. We don't know if Men in Black came in there. We don't know what happened. We don't know if those kids are fake and they made them up. You got crisis actors. We don't know if they got killed. We don't know. Oh, the guy that the so-called 18-year-old that did it, come to find out, that dude was born as a woman and had a sex change operation. It was a lot older than that. Oh, they said the first person he got was his grandmother. They said that she got wounded, then she died, but then she came back to life. So they keep changing the story. Right?
Just to back up, Apostle.
Speak loud.
Just to back up, Apostle, even what a coincidence that happens a few days before the NRA.
That's right.
A few days because you did the show.
Certain kingdom can't stand.
They were doing the
Separation. Exactly. It was mostly women. Black women. That's why they keep changing the story. Because people are saying, nah, this don't make no. Now they're saying oh, these brave cops. Now they saying those cops are cowards. Who said that? Was it Tariq Nasheed? Y'all ever watch this? Tariq Nasheed? Now he be getting down. I believe it was him. He said, come to find out them cops are nothing but cowards, man. You know, he broke it down too. Them cops just want to get, when a cop, not all cops, not all cops. Some of them want to be heroes, but when you become a police officer, why do people become police officers? Get good pay, get benefits, you know, all kind of benefits, dental, hospital, all that stuff for your children, and then you got a good retirement program, right? That's why they become cops. Cops told me that. They said, look, I can't wait till I retire in 2 years. I remember cops I grew up with. I got 2 more years and I'm out this bitch. And one cop told me, he said, look, the only reason why I'm a damn cop is because of the pension plan and the money that I get. Then when the guy retired, you know, he was a locksmith. He became a locksmith. He's making more money now as a locksmith than he was as a police officer. But guess what? He got all that stuff. He got that pension. He got all that stuff in the back.
I got a friend, her mother was a correction officer. She retired at 40. Pension and all that. But they could retire early. Yeah, like 20 years.
That's good, you know? Anyway, bring it back to y'all.
Back in Isaiah 34, verse 6, it says, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats.
And that's symbolic, you know, that's going to be symbolic to human beings, man. All right, because America is going to be the great altar, a great sacrifice. All right, and 2/3 of the people and, you know, the other nations are going to be burnt up, man. All right? Go ahead.
With the fat of the kidneys of rams,
right?
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra.
And Basra was a land in Edom. Okay? Go ahead.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
And what's the land of Idumea? America. All right? Which is here, Babylon the Great. All right?
And the unicorn shall come down with them.
And when you go back to the word unicorn, that's a wild oxen. All right, which was a clean animal, because these other Christian churches, you know, preach that a unicorn was a rhino, which is an unclean animal. And when you go into a wild oxen, it represents, you know, someone who's strong and mighty. Okay? Go ahead.
And the bullocks with the bulls.
Go ahead.
And their land shall be soaked with blood.
Their land is going to be soaked with blood. There's going to be a lot of death here in